Have you ever heard of Kalbskas? Maybe not. You know Leberkas, and Kalbskas is the more sophisticated little brother of Leberkas. It's made of veal, it's fine, it's delicious, and by the end of the video you will love it just as much as I do. Servus and welcome to Flo's German Kitchen. I'm Flo, this is my kitchen, and I show you how to cook the German way. Probably you know Leberkas, the #1 Bavarian snack. Everybody loves it. A Leberkas semmel, Leberkas with potato salad, Leberkas everywhere. But did you know that the Leberkas has a, let's say, more sophisticated little brother? It does, and that's what we're gonna make today. It's Kalbskas. For the Kalbskas, we need a couple of different meats, a couple of spices, heavy machinery, and of course a good guzzle of German beer. Ah, wunderbar. Just like with every Leberkas, you start with grinding the meat, and I've mentioned Leberkas a couple of times now. If you don't know how to make it, here's a video on how to make the original Leberkas. This is Kalbskas, and I was saying that it's a bit more sophisticated. That's got to do with a couple of different spices than the normal Leberkas, and as the name says, Kalbskas, Kalb means veal. So one of the more sophisticated things is that it's made of 1/3 of veal. So we're gonna start grinding. So this is about 1/3 of lean veal, and then we have another around 1/3 of lean pork. That's the next. So that's the lean meat. The next thing, this is pork back fat. And as we're gonna process the lean meat and the fat at different times, I want to keep that separate. Yeah, that's it. So we got, it looks like it's about the same amount, but this is 2/3 of lean meat and 1/3 of fat, and that's the ratio you want. So we go to the processing already. So before we get noisy with the processor, some explanation about the spices. We got salt, and the Kalbskas is not supposed to be pinkish like the Leberkas, but it is actually supposed to turn out pretty white, pretty pale. And yeah, that's why we're not using curing salt, we're just using plain salt. This is Cutterate. We also take the white one, white pepper, a couple of spices. That is mace, that is cardamom, that is ginger, and lemon zest. We're just gonna start with adding the lean meat. And at that point we can already add all the spices and other ingredients. And one thing that you don't see on the table here, I'm gonna get that now, is crushed ice. And we need the crushed ice because, like with every kind of sausage making, it's very important to keep an eye on the temperature of your sausage meat. You don't want it to get a temperature above 12 degrees centigrade, because temperatures above 12 degrees stop the emulsification, or they break the emulsification of the meat and the fat. So we start at low speed. And already add some of the crushed ice to keep the temperatures low. And to get the emulsification between the water, the ice, and the meat and the fat as well. Yeah, this looks mixed well. I increase the speed. Okay. Let's check the temperature. Yeah, 8 degrees, that's okay. But I'll just add more of the ice to keep it low. Okay, this looks good, creamy. Yeah, it's gonna turn out well. And if it's really warm, what you can do is between the grinding and the processing here, you can just put the ground meat to the freezer again if you want to really need to keep temperatures low. But we're still okay, and the process is doing a good job, so we won't need a lot of mixing going on. Little temperature check. Yeah, still 8 degrees. The ice works wonders, and actually it can go a bit higher. That's not a problem at all, and that's even something you want, because the spices get a bit more active when they got a slightly higher temperature than those 8 degrees. Yeah, 10 degrees, that's all right. And you can see this is like, I always think it looks a bit like Italian ice cream, but probably the Italians won't like that comparison. Anyway, this looks good. So while the oven is heating up, I just start putting this beautiful creamy meat into the loaf pan. I'll spray some oil so it doesn't stick, although it's a silicone pan, usually should not stick anyways, but yeah, better safe than sorry. What you want to make sure is also that there are no encapsulated pockets of air, whatever you call that, in the meat. Just put it tightly in the pan. And you can see this looks much more pale than the meat of a standard Leberkas. And you will also see that after it's baked. And also, this is the only way to have your Kalbskas. With Leberkas, there are different kinds. There's the fine and the coarse Leberkas. But with Kalbskas, there is no coarse variety. You always want that really fine, really creamy. To spread everything, it helps to get your hands wet. And just press everything into the pan. Yeah, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Time to put the Leberkas. Yeah, I'm saying Leberkas, Kalbskas. It's Kalbskas. To put the Kalbskas in the oven, and it's a good thing to just take a cup of water, add it to the oven. Just keeps the Kalbskas a little juicier. And now what we're gonna do is we bake it at 180 centigrade for around about 30 minutes. Of course, that depends on the size of your loaf. But in the end, you want a core temperature of 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. Now that was more like 45-50 minutes, but now this looks really good. And the core temperature, I checked that earlier, is at 80 degrees. And of course it's hot. Here we go. A wonderful, delicious, looks pretty juicy Kalbskas. Now let's see if the silicone does what it's supposed to do. And just release it. Yeah, great thing. Now what you can see here is I was a bit too loose if it came to those air enclosures, pockets, whatever you call it. But yeah, that's just an aesthetic problem, not one of taste. Now let's see what's inside that beautiful Kalbskas. Juicy. This is beautiful. You can see it's not pink like Leberkas, it's almost white. Yeah, this looks great. I'll just cut off a slice. And a good thing is I made some rolls this morning and I'm gonna make a lovely Kalbskas semmel and I'll put it on a nice plate and then I'm gonna see you again. Look at this, our wonderful Kalbskas semmel. This looks delicious and I'm pretty sure it tastes just as delicious. Kalbskas semmel. It is sort of the same as the Leberkas semmel, just a little bit better, a little more refined. You got that fresh lemony taste of the lemon zest. You got cardamom and yeah, a couple of spices that you don't have in the Leberkas. This is delicious and I want to finish that right now. So let's wrap this up, celebrate German cooking. Cheers to German cooking. Cheers to Bavarian cooking. Cheers to Kalbskas. Wunderbar.